Okay, so it sucks that nothing's happened yet, but I have to try and see it through to the end because I have to do this for real. I know everyone wants it to be perfect in our own human way, but I have to take into account the God variable. And especially if Lindsey was baptized yesterday or became Christian, that is definitely worth the delay. That is still a Christmas miracle. That is still a Christmas gift to God. And with that said, I also have to remember that I've been playing kind of the end of this story incorrectly. Meeting Lindsey won't be the end of the story. It'll be kind of the midway point. The end of the story was us getting a house together and watching the fireworks. So the story ends like July 4th, Independence Day. Which is about a month and a week from it when it all kind of started. A month and a week more to be the full year. So I've kind of been praying up until a point, and I need to make my prayers go all the way down. I need to grow this whole dream, not just grow to the point where I want and then be like, okay, cool, the rest will take care of itself. Because God, being outside of time, wants the whole thing to grow. And I did see like a vortex cloth that I helped stitch back together became unraveled. And I just watched it. Like this dream I created with heaven made of cloth, or that I had woven together using spiral green energy of God's everlasting love. Same soda, by the way. I've been nursing it for 4 hours. That's how I drink my drinks. Okay, so from December 26th, I had my arm in front of me and I saw this starlight kind of reaching over it like a sunset or like a nuclear explosion. But I think this one's like a spirit bomb, so it's like God's eruption of heart. And I saw the sun rising before it like a star. So we could say the Son of God rising like a star. Okay, so we have the Star of Bethlehem. And I saw the rays of it. So I'm seeing the dream we started to achieve take form. And that kind of lines up really well with what I just said. Like looking forward, praying forward, and God saying, okay, now this is going to... Because otherwise, I would have met her, gotten married, and then not worried about it. But God wants me to keep going, not to just dream and pray about the maintenance of the relationship, but grow it. Have multiple layers of dreams. Have dreams for your family and for your house and for the design of your house and for your kids, and have dreams everywhere and kind of run them all through. Okay, so this was when I was like asleep and kind of miserable and frustrating, and I was kind of just trying to shut everything. And then I saw my friend come through the front door from the future, and he was like, everything was bathed in white, so there was like a heavenly apparatus afoot. And he was like, hey, the two girls are trying to come through and you're shutting the door on them. And it was Lindsey and like a little girl. So I wasn't sure if like she considers her dog her little girl, or if her dream of having her first daughter comes through. Because our adopted daughter is 14, and it's my dream to adopt, and I think it's her dream to have a little girl. So like our dreams are coming through or something. I went to shut the door because I was frustrated, right? I was like, is any of this real? Is nothing real? And then they just like came in. I shut the door and they came in. I shut the door and they came in. I was like, okay, wait. Like, let me not be a fool just because I'm cranky or irritated. Yeah, because I was like, what is she gonna do? She's like a little girl. She's small. Like, why am I freaking out and like trying to push away this happiness? I saw heavenly things. So I'm looking up and there's like these heavenly things that were like kind of like rotating fan type blades. But I think they were just like the machinations of dream state. And I think it was also gave me like a Willy Wonka vibe. So Willy Wonka had a chocolate factory, and I think Lindsey and I are going to build a dream factory. And I feel something in my soul about that just now. You know, come with me and you'll see a world of pure imagination. More romantic endeavors. And then my spirit. Okay, so this is another reason, and I just put this down here like 10 minutes ago. And this was a dream from December 26th. So remember yesterday, which was January 2nd, I had a vision of Lindsey falling into the bathtub, clothes on, so I think she was getting baptized or coming to Jesus, being like, you know, refreshed with God's life-giving water. Now watch what I wrote. My spirit is talking to someone in the bathtub. It's kind of sweet, actually. And so, I mean, you can say that's nothing, but that's something. That's definitely something. There's definitely something going on here. Even if I'm not getting what I want, there's something here, and I'm going to mine the supernatural ore out of this. And she was talking about like Slumdog Millionaire, which I think is kind of appropriate. It's a good movie. Downtrodden boy gets his girl using his character and wits. Okay, the next one. I see Christmas as a... Yeah, so I saw Christmas on like this plateau. It was like this cliff, and it was kind of like this circle. And then before it was like all of this like mountain slope going down. So I felt that Christmas is going to be nothing compared to the big breath that is the New Year's. So whether or not this comes true with Lindsey is not the important part. What comes next is like mountainous. Like it's going to overcome like a third of the nation is going to be overcome by what happened here. So I need to see it through because God is the point more than Lindsey and I. And so I need to drive this towards God to get the ending that's worth the endeavor, that transcends the endeavor. And then I wrote, I should probably hydrate. I think I would just drink a lot of soda the night before because it was Christmas. But when I say hydrate, usually that means like if you're going to have a lot of romantic time, you need to stay hydrated. Okay, so I saw this kind of staple thing holding like 3 pieces. It looked like continents or like grafts of spirit matter. So I think it was like, and then I saw like a reaction, like this glow started to come into it. And I think it was like a spirit bomb. But it also reminded me of the way Samus looks in Super Metroid when she rolls into the ball. So I think a combination of both. I think Lindsey's become possessed by the Holy Spirit, and also that's going to be the catalyst for the reaction to cause everything to happen. Okay, and then White House, 2 boys peering around the wall, looking some more age, soft, and then sky color on their shirt, white pants, short, Mexican, look like twins. And then I wrote dolphin, maybe? I don't know. It's so weird. I'm trying to ask heaven to increase my gift of dream interpretation. What is that? 2 boys. I was thinking maybe we adopt a girl, have 2 boys, and then adopt another girl. Around the house. So we have 2 boys there. A dolphin. Oh, I can almost see it. Ah, yeah, bio babies. They're both fast swimmers. Okay. So they look like twins. I don't think she's gonna have twins. They just look like twins. Okay, and then I remember I was like washing my hands with holy oil. Like there was so much holy oil. I could wash my hands and shake it, and there was still just like so much. There was like this basin, and I was like, there's so much holy oil here. I think we just worked that hard and we're that genuine about the path that there was payout. A girl sitting in front of, I wrote, does she feel fat or something? And then she moved. There's a man leaning against like Christmas. It looks like the image. I was waiting for Christmas. Oh yeah. I remember, I think I was seeing what she was seeing. She was seeing like where I was waiting for her at Christmas time. And I was like laying down and I looked like a distinguished gentleman is the best way to put it. And I was like, why am I like laying in this dream? And then I realized the way she saw me out by that church was exactly how I was laying in my bed. I was like, that's kind of cool. So I think, I don't know, maybe she feels like she's, and then I wrote, maybe you feel that you're too old and too fat. And I was like, what? And then I think God had to show her that I was still waiting for her, that like I was a distinguished gentleman and I cared about things like a distinguished gentleman. And so, I don't know, like it's not, there's nothing you can really say to insecurities because insecurities don't actually exist. They're like a phantom desire. So the way you do it is you help the maturity. You don't try to satiate the phantom desires because they're phantom. They can't be satiated because they're not real. Now, if she were to ask, will I always find her attractive? God would probably answer that by saying Josh is a distinguished gentleman. Okay, a girl and a daughter. I don't know, was that Lindsey or Luna? Lindsey and like her dream of having a daughter. I see a gift and a card. So I think she's going to have a gift and I think a message from God. I don't know why, but I think that'd be really cool. Maybe a gift and a message from God? I don't know. 4 of us, probably sure something, so we kind of stood, I don't know, together, kind of before me in a matter of speaking. And I said, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, there's 4 of us, they're talking, yeah, I'm sure. I have an idea that has to do with eloping, but I don't know for sure. I see 4 sandwiches and a 5th one is being made, like chicken and mayonnaise on white bread. And for me, the 7 ones heaviest at all. So I think it was like September, October, November, December were like the 4 months that I had to do this, and they were very light. And then January is going to be like the heaviest of all. So there's going to be more to do, but more content. So we're going to see. And considering Joe Dawson talked about swiftness and urgency and God saying, ready or not, here I come, 1 and 2. I'm not concerned, but we've learned it's not about waiting till a date. It's about accomplishing until it is good. So we have to accomplish until it's good. And I think me learning to pray for my future, the house, the kids, the daughters, the dog, the design, like he doesn't want the dreams to stop just because this is my big dream. Now it's time to do bigger dreams, not just be like, woo, I won, and then retire. It's like, no, you just got to be a pro athlete, man. Go be a pro athlete. And God and I both wanted me to be the next Walter Disney. There's a trading of cars in a parking structure. I don't quite understand. Like, your brother and sister are trading someone for this girl. He had like a pink stripe and the brother was taking his. So there's this weird trading of cars. Like, one blocked the other. And then he's like, oh, we need to trade. So I think someone's ego is trying to get in the way of this happening. So I should probably pray for these siblings. Because everyone just keeps trying to get in the way. I don't know. Oh, this one was interesting. I heard like an angel say, why is it sometimes a lot of people go buy new guns, but sometimes you can spray wash with them? And so after I was kind of miserable that nothing happened, after the dream, I was like, all right, get back on track, like play it through to the end. Like if you're going to lose, let's lose with style. And I saw these two like arms out and they were spraying water and just power washing this like pool area. It's like an indoor pool, like where you might have a surf zone or a pool or a jet pool you have to swim against. And I was just like, I was like, okay, I get this. I can use my might and my power to do stuff other than fight. Which I made a big breakthrough today. So I've always had this like animosity kind of voice in my head, and I've always used it to train my fighting. But lately, because I've always had my mom's voice in my head, I switched because this Bible verse said, you know, a servant can't serve two masters. And I'm like, all right, God's going to be my master. I'll be like Dracula. He'll be the creepy, dark master. And then something else switched. I was like, why? Because this pastor said, I know you like to fight. I know, Joshua, you like to fight? Jesus will teach you to fight. And I was like, dude, you know what? Why am I learning to fight by my mom? So I was like, Jesus, teach me to fight. And I was like, okay, so fighting's a big deal, but so is communication, so is gentleness, so is kindness. I was like, Jesus, teach me to communicate. And then like the world rotated. So it wasn't that I was learning to fight, it's that I was learning how to communicate badly and win. But instead I can communicate with grace and love and joy and power and be kind of predominant. I can lay down the foundation, lay down the rules, lay down the game, show success, and then people just stop fighting. And then God's teaching me to fight, so I know how to destroy the footing people stand on with tactics and debate. So I got better at everything, and it only cost me my pride in my ability to fight. Not that it was bad pride. I'm very good at debating because I had to debate a ton when I was a kid. I tell people I put in 10,000 hours arguing with my mom before I ever got to high school. This is interesting. I see her legs covered in blood. I see her in heels, maybe like the Wizard of Oz. Like she wants to go home, and home would be like with your family. But it reminded me of like when you're wearing the crown of thorns and like Jesus was like bleeding, like show me you're the crown, show me you're the crown. I think that desire to be someone's princess, someone's queen is in her. And I remember Jesus, he was so full of conviction that he started to sweat blood. Like, am I going to do this? Am I going to die? Am I going to be tortured? Like, but he like wanted to do it, but at the same time, you know, God, please don't let me drink from this cup. But he knew he was like warming and educating himself to do it. And then God removed all of his fellowship, so he'd have to do it alone because it would have to rely on Jesus's strength. And we saw that. Jesus, please don't do this. And he goes, get behind me, opposer. And I think it's the same with her. Like she wants to find this voice because God's been talking, she's been seeing me. And so she wants to find this voice, but it's like, this is like a big deal. Like this is weird and odd, but at the same time, like, do you want the treasure at the end of the rainbow? Do you want to know the treasure that the dragon has? Or as Jordan Peterson says, there's always a dragon by the treasure. I just think I'm that dragon this time. And I had to defeat a lot of myself like I just did. Oh, and then, wait, let's go back. Her legs covered in blood. I saw her heels. So, yeah, I think I remember her walking a lot too. So I think she did go on this journey. I heard something like, here's some candy I put here, and this is kind of root beer candies. I was going to put down a 10, 4 got eaten. I don't know. I think it has to do with the butterscotch candies I just ate, and I do have a soda. I feel like she's hungry to drink in all this love. I don't know. I don't know what to think right now. I'm like in no man's land. It just seems just too much to not be true. I mean, that's fair. Like all these dreams are coming true, but not the ones you want. mean, even Joe Dawson said reposition, like get in position for prophecy and watch what happens. So I think no matter what happens, it'll be like dynamite. So I'm like, I'm going to finish it no matter what. I just might start getting quiet about it. A ship over ground like a super drone. This thing was like 80 times the size. It was like almost the size of a building. It was like 40 stories tall and like 80 stories wide. It was like gigantic. And I was like, I need to get this under control or I'll help assist in a dystopian future. And that could have been for me or the US or both, because it's not good for prophets to lose themselves. A dream again, like an engine block, but it's kind of like a plate that's like on the ground, and there's all these holes and these bullets were going through. So I feel that like if I didn't get under control, I would be the architect of my own demise. Because like, who's going to stop you from feeling bad and losing your mind and falling into depression? Like, you have to keep yourself upright. You have to march on. You have to find solutions. You have to beg God for answers. Like, what are the answers? How do we do this? How do we move on? What am I doing wrong? Are you here? What should I do? Okay, in a car, a girl made of quality mom material said, "It's okay, it's not over," and then she was smiling and in love. All right, okay. I mean, love was great. Okay, so there's this queen. She's like taking away magic, and I was like, no, I'll take charge. Yeah, I think people are telling her not to do it. Queen and taking away magic. Maybe someone's telling her there's no such thing as happy endings. Nope, I'm in charge. I see her yelling and crying. I see a breakthrough from all this prayer and contemplation. So I think that's what led up to the baptism. And it's probably hard to believe that something you're hearing in your head is true. But if you don't have God to help you, I've at least seen a lot of miracles, so I'm on board for playing the part of a fool, especially if I get my happily ever after. And Lindsey said that she would, in her instinct, she would meet her husband by Christmas. But I put, together we're going to possess mankind with the spirit of Christmas, and that's what this is all about. We're not just getting our Christmas miracle. We're going to take it and shove it into North America and let it possess the world. We're not just celebrating Christmas. We're going to possess Earth with Christmas, and it's going to start with our explosion of love and mercy and togetherness and triumphantness. So like, it's like 100 times more than we thought, and we need to get on board with that or it's never going to happen. Because a lot of us fight the super duper victory. You know, oh, I need $100. You don't expect to win the lottery, and so you have to prep for it. Do you have a lawyer? Do you have a bank account? Do you have your self-control under control? Remember, I had a vision where, like a big vision where, this is so big, it's going to be a national holiday. It's going to be like Christmas. Ventures on a board, some with sci-fi elements, some with robots and turrets. So I think I'm playing Life/Dungeons and Dragons/space. I think we've got a good map of like all the projects we want to do, when and how to put them together, how to work with a time schedule, how to have our family. I think we're praying and working with our friends. I saw a drone with flowers and I heard my name. So I think she's going to send me a gift ahead of her by a little bit. And what was great is she called me Joshua, which is what I intend to ask her to call me, not Josh. My friends call me Josh, but like my name is Joshua. And if my wife, especially Lindsey, calls me by my name, that'd just be really cool. A dynamic board being played, many different levels to things. I think the construction things are starting to happen while I play this board game. So I think while we do the D&D thing, other things are being constructed. Like we've made the decisions, put them into play. And so very simple, we go from the layout on the table to the layout in real life. And then if we get that right, we'll start moving it to other cities and other nations. And then I write, Lindsey, if you hear this, I love you. I fell down at this board game between the crossroads, but when I got back up, it's probably what happened. Yeah, and also yesterday too. Like, the fasting was good, but at the same time, I think it was unnecessary. Just me kind of being desperate. Board games again. Set their board game, and I saw 2 rooms. The first one with a couple of zombies, and the last one with like a few fat ones. So this next is going to be pretty easy, but the next one's going to be pretty hard, so I'm probably prepared for it. So, I don't know. It could have been like the depression at Christmas and the depression for New Year's, and then for yesterday. I can't imagine it's going to be harder, because the only other thing that can happen is, 1, I'm running out of savings, and 2, I have to go face my friends at work and tell them nothing happened. Well, I mean, a lot of stuff happened, but not the big payoff. I saw some sort of rom-com on TV, like The Bachelor, and these 2 people, and one of them was really concerned about how she looked, and which was weird because I had never thought about that. So that was kind of adorable. I think Lindsey is sometimes concerned she's not pretty enough. It's like, I'll be the judge of that. If you don't think you're pretty, I veto your ability to question your looks. Okay, so the car, like the journey she's being brought on. So I think this is my fear. So that was hers. My fear was like, I have a lot of humble things. I don't have a lot of like expensive things. A lot of my preciousness is my friends and my accomplishments and my gift for creation. But for her, the car that I showed up in, so I think like my life and my account for journeys looked like Kit from Knight Rider. So that car that's like sentient. And so she was like, whoa, like this is really cool. So I didn't have anything to worry about either. I see doorways like on the zombie board game, but it also looks like Alice in Wonderland. When I see the doorway is open on the door, the last door maybe. So I think that goes back to Becca's dream where she like has to consider. So these are probably the upcoming days. Cut in a scene of Star Wars, or she's stuck in a chamber where the lights are. So she was like trapped, kind of like Princess Leia, but she was trapped and like held into place by these belts. And I took a lightsaber and I cut one off. So like I got one off. I don't know if the other one's for her to do or me to do. Support came with maps out, beautiful maps. They look like a city from a storybook. Showing her my plan of bringing the world to Jesus. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I need to bring the word. I need to bring the word of Jesus all around the planet, so we can summon Jesus back to Earth, and ask him the ultimate question: who his favorite Naruto character is. All right, I feel like I'm back in school, like I was at school, like a junior high, and there's a teacher walking past the desks. I think I was like looking for my daughter again, because I haven't seen my daughter in dreams for a while. I'll say, okay, so Guardians of the Galaxy, when Xandu looks for the Power Stone inside is a toy, I think that's what happened with her. I think she's finally grabbed on to it. And also I had a dream where I was like Cyclops, like one of my eyes was full of power, and inside was this like this like Power Stone from heaven. So I thought that was really cool. I wrote myself married. I saw myself married. I think it's myself married because I look different. I look calm. And so we go up, and I think it's one of her like last issues, and I just tap the rock and it falls down. Like one of the last things keeping her from God and peace, and I'm just like, doo, and it just falls down. So she's become quite potent in Christianity, and I'm just showing her the final touches. Some problems are just boop. I saw myself with a hand on a bag, parading her around. Please let you understand the miracle you did. So I think I'm encouraging her. She is building a city, a heavenly one for our sheep. So she's helping in the construction of this city for our future like fans and people following us. So that's good. So I think the Disney Christland operation where we like have people to heal and prophesy and help with dreams is coming true. I see 4 to 5 American flag photos in my phone on my reel. I think it's like a victory, and then I see a new one. So I've done all this, and then there's even a new victory. So I think there's like even more coming after I think I'm done. And the last one, I see someone falling out of the tracks. I think she's being dropped. Oh, in the way to my train. So I'll come across her. I just have to stay on track. Okay. All right. I love you guys. That one was long. That puts us at December 26th. So 5, 6, 7 more days to go. Oh, at least I'm finally catching up. All right. I love you guys.